Well, welcome to another News Game Plus. I'm Dermie and I'm here with New Game Plus executive producer Jason Callahan. Don't need to do this.
Recently awoken. It's too hot. I don't know how people do this stuff. Like, stay away.
It's not that hot. I mean, I'm worried if you forget. I mean, you're not wearing pants today.
I'm not.
I
didn't wear. I had to go into my work today. And I didn't wear pants in work either. So.
Well, what? So, what's your job?
I just wore shorts.
I was going to say. But yeah, this. I mean, if it gets much hotter, this could turn into a nude game.
Yeah. Nude game plus.
Old joke, but
it's we've got News Game Plus, Nude Game Plus, New Gay Plus when it's Jack running it. Like there's a heap of jokes. So.
We can get him a domain name too.
Yeah.
New Game Plus now, top level domain.
Because old mate GoDaddy keeps ruckusing me. So yeah.
Yeah, I get those spam ads as well. So anyway, we can't argue with the algorithms. So
yeah.
So all right, cool. Let's get into some gaming news. The first one, I hate to say the phrase fake news. But
Lordy.
I'm going to lead with some of the fake
news. Let me guess. The only thing I'll say is you're going to be talking about one of the traditional media outlets, whether it's like Australian TV, like Channel 9, Channel 10, whatever, or you're going to be talking about newspapers. If it's actual fake news, they're most likely.
Can you orange up my side of the screen?
Yeah. I can actually, if you want. I can put actually, let's see if I can do that.
Actually, no, don't, because some people won't get the joke.
Some people won't get the joke. No, that's fine.
It's the internet. It's the internet. You can say.
Keep talking.
You are going to do it. All right, cool.
I'm going to do it.
All right, I'll do the story while you play around the settings. There was videos this week of smoke pouring out of Xbox Series X's, like it was a chimney stack. And I saw the videos. I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what's going on there. And then Microsoft tweeted out, basically along the lines of, we can't believe we have to tell you people, but do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox One X or Series X, please. So people were basically putting smoke in, filming it, putting it on YouTube and going, look, my Xbox on fire.
Yeah, of course they were.
And now we know that's fake news, but it went one step further because Channel 7 then had a headline saying Microsoft issues warning after videos surface online of smoke coming out of new Xboxes.
One of those.
It was like, oh boy, I mean, if you guys could just stay away from the whole video game industry, that'd be great. Because let's say, mainstream media, they either don't get us or they use us.
For sport. Yeah, for sure, of course.
Sport. Hey, I was saying before about sport, the parallel universe that my son introduced me to. During the week, I'd worry. You mentioned sports. I'm going to go there. I would worry where sport's going to be in 20 years.
There you go.
I'm orange now. Awesome.
Yeah. It's not a very good job, but there you go. Whenever you start doing this stuff, I'll just put that up and then fade it out. Prospect will be rolling in his grave.
Put it back. Make New Game Plus great again. Orange me up.
I'll orange you up.
Because my son showed me. Have you heard of Technoblade?
Yeah, they're all like YouTubers.
Techno Dream and all that. Technoblade, who apparently is the best PvP player in Minecraft in the world.
In the old days, Technoblade used to be the American version of Tekkaman Boredo, which is the Japanese anime. That's where he got his name from, but that's fine.
Okay. Well, he's only 21 apparently, but yeah. But anyway, look, someone showed me. I was going off a little sidetrack because you mentioned sport, right?
Yeah.
But someone showed me. I started checking it out, doing a little bit of research into it, and my son and daughter, who are high school age, and all their friends, they talk about guys like Technoblade and Dream and that, like a normie talks about Dustin Martin. Like they are like
a normie. So just don't call yourself out here. But
they've got none of them have got any interest at all in football.
But I mean,
but they're all over
the AFL knows that. Gillon McLaughlin knows that. That's why he's flying in young people to try and increase the amount of people who go to the AFL.
With the au pairs.
Yeah.
They play the women's AFL. I was actually quite fascinated to see it. They play Minecraft Mondays for like $10,000 prize money and stuff.
I've seen that,
Mr. Beast organised a competition for $100,000.
Yeah, he's always doing that. Well, $500,000 to the biggest fan base he does.
Throwing a lot of money around. I was actually surprised. But like all these kids, and when my kid. Which one was it? It was a son, the younger one. Yeah. When they do a graduation out of primary school, right? Because they need to finish grade 6. But they had all the students go up and do their little thing. But they announced what the students wanted to do in the future, and probably 90% of the boys said, when I grow up, I want to be a YouTuber or I want to be a video game developer, right? Yeah, they wanted to do that. In the girls, probably half the girls said, I want to grow up and play AFL. Which I was surprised by. But none of the boys did. There was one boy said he wanted to grow up and play cricket for Australia.
Okay.
So, but when I came through school, if you asked any male,
Yeah.
it'd be football or cricket.
Yeah, footy or cricket. Footy, cricketer, fireman, astronaut. Like, yeah.
Well, I want to be a pilot. That was my thing. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't smart enough.
That's right. You don't really have to be smart to be a pilot. But
no, actually,
dumb
you
pilots.
did.
I
I wanted on the Air Force. Yeah, it was like A+ across the board.
Right.
And unfortunately, I was only good at one thing. But yeah,
programming.
Yeah, well, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it was actually having a look at all this stuff. I thought, footy, I reckon might be in trouble. At some point.
They know that, but that's why
they're have to worry.
And keep in mind, they are the big one. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you think of it in the grand scheme of things, in Australia, they are the big sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing else that even comes close to their numbers, close to their reach. And if they're at that point where no one's even talking about this stuff, then you know you're in a bad spot.
Well, we talk esports, and you're big into the esports area, but this is another sort of level as well.
Level.
This is anyway, it was quite interesting. So I learned who Technoblade was, I learned who Dream was, I watched the videos. Fascinating to watch, but it's like a parallel universe. It's like that exists alongside everything else. Hopefully the normies in media like Channel 7 they don't discover it because they won't understand it the slightest. All right, cool. Another news article. Telstra. You get a Xbox Series X through Telstra. Well, now you can get a PS5 through Vodafone. So if anyone's
I actually just renegotiated my deal with Vodafone
with the PS5
the other day. Not for a PS5, for an iPhone. And not to shill because they don't.
The same thing.
Because they didn't pay me to shill, but
we'd send him a bill afterwards.
I just went to them and I got an iPhone.
I like Simon. Sorry, go.
I got like $15 taken off my bill. So Vodafone and Vodafone did the PSP. So when not PSP, Vita. So when the Vita came out, they were the exclusive. They were the exclusive retailer locally. That if you want to get it through like a phone provider, they were the exclusive one to do it. Whereas Telstra signed that big deal with Microsoft, where literally they're the outlet for Xbox in Australia.
Early on when it was Sol Trujillo.
Trujillo, yeah.
It's Sol. When he was at Telstra and all his little cronies, they actually said the iPhone would fail.
Yes, I remember.
He
was not a bright gentleman at the beginning.
Well done, guys. That's good. He was a Howard appointee. Anyway, he's a very, very smart man. The iPhone won't succeed.
Yeah.
But
Simon was saying he's got his through Telstra, which Telstra has the exclusives for telcos for that. But Vodafone's done it for Sony for a while, so I'm not surprised that there's one for PS5.
Well, they reckon they got them now, but I don't know. I'm not going to.
Good luck. I've got mine sitting at the post office waiting. So
Also, Simon's dream job was an assassin hitman. He put it in chat, so it's public. But Okay, well that's good, Simon.
Enjoy the knock on the door from ASIO.
I think there's. I think we're getting to a point where there's going to be a lot of openings for that. So I hope you've kept your dream alive, Simon.
Power up the heavy magnet now. Just run it over your PC. You'll be fine.
Everyday things are looking more and more interesting. What are we looking at? Take-Two's buying Codemasters. I put them for $994 million. I wrote $, but the US dollars.
Yes, US dollars.
Australian currency.
So better than so it'd be $1.1 dues.
Yeah. What's the US version of $? No, they need a proper name for their money.
The petrodollar, which is just
the petrodollar. I like when they call them presidents. It'd be or just shy of $1 billion for Take-Two to buy Codemasters.
Yeah.
Does Codemasters make anything? They used to make Colin McRae Rally, didn't they?
They make Dirt.
Awesome game.
So Dirt Rally, all those racing games. They do. There's another series they do that this is off the top of my tongue. I can't remember. It's more money than I would have thought they were worth, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I couldn't think of a Codemasters game now off the top of my head. I could think of it when they were back in the Amiga days.
If you want to think of it from the point of view of
it's worth it.
$7.5 billion for Bethesda versus this, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see the relative value, but maybe, are Codemasters worth
7 times more?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
considering Bethesda has Skyrim,
Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein.
Pretty good games.
Yeah. Doom and Wolfenstein are good games.
But they're big franchises.
Yeah. They've got as much as 76 sucks and Elder Scrolls sucks, it's still a couple $100 every month, $200 million every month.
They'd have to make making big money. So it sounded high because I couldn't remember a Codemasters game.
Well, I think more than anything else, it's something that they don't have. They've got they've got basketball, like as far as simulation goes, but like lockdown. EA does obviously the soccer. Yeah. So no, Take-Two. Take-Two does the NBA 2K. No one does another NBA game. Take-Two's Rockstar, their Mafia. So it's a gap in their portfolio. Yeah. So it's whereas EA, it's got Need for Speed. You know what I mean?
They're Rockstar. They don't need anybody else. I mean, they're still making a packet from Grand Theft Auto.
They're still making $100 million a month off shark cards in GTA. They don't need anything else.
It's insane. I still can't believe it's still so popular.
Well, that's why they'll just like. I think Dan Houser left Rockstar, Laszlo left Rockstar. All the main ones who got them through that pushy era are long gone. So yeah.
All right, cool. Another one. Okay, I don't know if you've heard anything about this, but there were claims during the week on and off that Xbox Series X requires always on internet to play offline.
So I have some experience with this.
Are you able to say?
Yes. Well, the answer is no, but it does ruckus you. So I tried to play Valhalla. So you need to be online to do that.
Is this Snopes partly true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like obviously Ubisoft, their online servers. If you play while it's online, you have the Ubisoft online servers kind of thing, and this person took a photo here, and no one gives a shit. But it's for an achievement, so suddenly all these people are taking photos through Ubisoft Share. But yeah, it worked, but it did ask me to go on. It did say this game requires online. I just brute forced it, and eventually it gave up.
Is it a periodic, like when you start the game?
No. It doesn't say you have dropped offline. Now go back to start. If it did that, that's when grab your pitchforks, boys. I mean,
that's a Dom Matrix comeback. In Ghost form. That was the smoke coming out. That was Matrix.
Yeah. There's no way that Spencer is. There's no way Spencer's that dumb. Could be wrong, but there's just no way they revive. I mean, after Matrix. They wanted to get rid of the Xbox brand. That was a story I read recently that Phil Spencer was so concerned that the well had been poisoned that badly. But I mean, they stabilised the brand by the end. It's just one thing they were lacking is exclusives. Hence why they've said, "Here's $10 billion. Let's buy every studio we can afford." Yeah. So
they haven't finished, have they? There's still one you reckon they're buying.
Oh, I've still got my feel. Again, I maintain I don't think it'll be a buyout of Sega, but I mean, Sega at the moment are hurting for money. You know about them. Jumping out of arcade operations, they're encouraging their people to take retirement packages, all that kind of good shit.
The retirement packages is never ever a good sign,
especially
because also the ones that take them are the ones that are good.
Because they're like cool, time to go.
Take the package, then go somewhere else. I mean, that's see that happen enough. All right, cool. Now some PS5 news, and it's maybe not good. I don't know if you know much about this, but apparently there's some bugs. Have you? Actually, before I do, have you encountered any bugs at all yet in the Series X?
I've encountered bugs with specific games, and they happen to be Ubisoft games. Like, I had my Valhalla file.
Have they employed a whole heap of Bethesda programmers or something?
That was my joke on Facebook. I think the big thing was...
there you go, stole your joke.
Yeah, that's my joke.
I'd kill you.
One of the things was I lost 10 hours of Valhalla progress. Because for whatever reason
it's not out in the yard.
It bugged out. It bugged out, and then it tried to revert back to the quick restart thing. It does. The quick restart is pretty cool, especially for older games. But for newer games, it still seems buggy. And for whatever reason, it didn't have any of my save files there. It reverted, but it reverted to the last time that it was turned off, which was literally a day before. And so
no cloud. No.
Yeah, no, and all the cloud saves were on my old cloud saves, so it reverted to an old image. The old image happened to be that far ago because I had to hard boot it to power it down. But I found that if it happens, I've been saving it. So what I did was I was like, cool. What were the 3 weapons I used from that whole time I spent exploring? Went to those specifically, like I Google gamed, and then grabbed the 3. And then went on to the next objective, finished the objective. And so I had to watch one lot of cutscenes again. But that was my biggest bug with, and I've heard, Simon says it there, my next one was Simon says, the next one was going to be, I've heard Forza's having trouble, some of the Forzas are bugging. I've definitely heard there's just little kinks in certain systems. The one that annoys me is I can't turn off. Oh, would you like to enable auto update? I don't want to enable auto updating. I need you to fuck off and stop asking me. And it will always come up with when you turn it on. Oh, do you want to enable? I don't want to enable it, and you need to not ask me again. I know that Microsoft, you love putting these unskippable pop-ups. Yeah. So, I'm like, but no, you need to just stop. Like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, all Microsoft do like to look at your PC.
Yeah, I know, right?
Schedule an upgrade for later, and then he goes, upgrade's happening now. And you go, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I'll walk off sometimes, or it has happened, I'll walk off to get lunch.
Yeah.
Come back when PC's rebooting, doing an update. And I go, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down, Microsoft.
Yeah. It's done it to me once midstream. I'll just be sitting there and it's like, we're going to restart. That's you, Yeah, like...
I'm not surprised that Microsoft would work that into the...
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. PS5 apparently has some bugs. Now, I'm happy to be corrected on these if anybody wants to say they're not. But apparently, downloads can lock up and require a full factory reset.
I've heard journalists say that they've had problems with the SSD from day dot. Like, that's something I've heard multiple journalists say. Mm-hmm. The SSD.
You're not even air quoting that.
So
actual ones.
Yeah. whatever that. Yeah. Again, remember we said when they did that pull apart video, the big thing is going to be how they handle that memory switching to SSD. Remember they had this is our unique controller, and I mean that's always going to be
it's just RAID off chips anyway.
Yeah. I get it, but it's something they have to figure into where they don't have to feed that into the Xbox version.
It's more things that can fuck up. The more you put in, the more
spinning wheels.
The more
from working on cars, it's like I'm going to turbo my car. It's like more things that can go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like
another one is apparently downloads lockout require a full factory reset, which is pretty extreme.
It's pretty full on.
Now the other one is the front front USB port doesn't charge when it's in rest mode, which is probably something that will be patched with the
Xbox definitely does. The Xbox definitely does. I use it for my laptop for my hard drive of games. But I've also used it for my phone when I've been out, so that's true, yeah.
And the rest mode apparently makes the console unstable. So if you're using it, and they have suggested at the moment that you turn it off. Now that's obviously going to be a software patch, but it's sort of like if I'm going to have a rest mode so that I don't have the power.
Well, I have it in the first place, yeah.
Yeah. So and it's also something like
that's crazy.
Like
that's the shit your laptop goes through. You know, what I mean, like you buy a cheap laptop.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than a PC that just won't go into standby. It just, it just annoys me. But yeah, so these are the sort of things I would have thought they tested.
You would have thought, but that you would be wrong, of course.
So I'd expect there's a software update for the PS5 very soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Another one, which kind of, I don't know how this is going to work, but apparently, at the moment, the PS5 does not have a 1440 resolution.
Really?
Yep. But apparently, according to Sony, it will get added if it's requested enough. And it made me wonder, requested enough by who exactly? Like, do we email Sony and say, can you add that?
That is crazy. Like...
Well, it's one of those ones I thought,
just do it.
And B, when they said request enough, I wasn't sure if it was developers or publishers or whether just people, Sony fans, just tweet them.
Yeah.
But when Sony says it'll be added if people want it, normally means no.
Yeah, and or the other one is they push it back on devs and they'll say like, it's up to the dev to decide if they want to include that
to support it.
And that's going to be the DualSense controller. Like I was talking to people about the DualSense, and it really seems like the biggest annoyance is the face buttons. I reckon the face buttons are back to like OG Xbox bad. Because this is have you seen the new controller? I haven't got it here.
Yeah, we were pointing at
so it's, with the ridges and stuff. So they've definitely fucked around with that one to fix it up, and it's all for the better. But to me, like DualSense, the triggers are nice and this is nice, but those face buttons look real bad.
One good thing, and it may sound trivial, but I did like it. Have you seen the close up of the texture on the PS5 controller?
No, I haven't.
It's little crosses and triangles.
That's really, a cool little.
I know it's minor, but really
that's
nice.
Staying on brand.
Probably won't last to the next iteration of it.
Not.
So buy them.
Of course not. So Sony supporting something? What are you? Yeah.
Oh, look how now better than Microsoft and Google.
Depends. Microsoft will support it sometimes to their detriment, and they'll try and invent operating systems to work on phones and things like that.
It was a good operating system.
It
was actually permanently dark mode. Everyone's down in dark.
No, it was a good operating system from 7 onwards. But up until Windows Phone 6.5 was fucking shithouse and needed to die.
I think I had 7 and then
7 was when it started with the block with the tiles.
Although there was one where you couldn't actually upgrade the phone from one version to the next.
Yeah, that was 7. I'm pretty sure.
That was really annoying. But it was permanent dark mode. And everyone's adding dark mode to stuff now. Windows Phone was already dark mode. All right. This is the last one I've got, which you may know way more about this than I do. But Twitch DMCA strikes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now Twitch has told users at the moment don't play game audio in your stream, or you may get done for copyright infringement. Apparently, I saw an interesting one. Is Dragon Force is a band, isn't it?
Yes.
I was thinking the Saturn game from.
No.
Anyway,
Dragon Force through the fire and flames on Guitar Hero. Which is the one, like...
Oh, it's got the skulls!
Which is the well-known one, the super hard one.
And I think someone made me play that just for fun, and I can get up to hard on Guitar Hero, but not expert, but no one... Anyway, apparently the guitarist for Dragon Force got suspended on his Twitch channel for playing his own music.
His own song, yeah.
But isn't that how it works? Like, so it's all bot.
So don't get me wrong, I think... Twitch's response was indelicate. I believe it was not helpful. I believe a lot of
this is where they went through all the archives and they did they get rid of all?
No, so the problem was suddenly for ages there was no DMCA strikes, right? And then Facebook signs a deal. Tinfoil hat. I don't have any tinfoil here, right? Tinfoil hat.
Okay. You can do it in the settings.
Can I? See if I make a silver one. I'll see if I make a silver one.
We need a button thing with
Basically, Facebook signs a deal with things. So let's say we played music over this, it wouldn't matter. We're covered now. We could play whatever music we want over Facebook streams, and it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
DMCA, they've signed a deal with the record labels, blah, 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 blah. So Facebook must have said...
But wait, when you say they signed a deal, sorry, that just means that they'll just monetize the stream and give them
money. I'm not sure what the details of it
YouTube
are.
does that.
Yeah, YouTube does
that,
correct.
Our episodes can have that done
for 30 seconds, correct.
There'll be ads there. The money doesn't come to you. You're the executive producer. The money goes to Warner
that's
Brothers.
why we demonetize a lot of ours that we know we're going to get flagged. So, anyway... Because I'd rather no one have the money. It's like that. Yeah. I'd rather set fire to it.
I'm powered by Spite as well.
Yeah. Yep. And so Facebook signs that deal. Then suddenly you get all these waves of things. Now, there are a lot of people who will listen to music in the background while they're streaming or whatever. And obviously that's always been illegal and that's always been something they need to...
we wanted to do that with Old Game Plus. We were always planning to do that, play 80s songs in the background. We would have got done.
Yeah, you would have got done.
Oh, it's a good idea, though.
Yeah, so for sure that would have been enough to have you done. So basically, but Twitch didn't have a solution in place. Unlike say YouTube has a pretty comprehensive thing. This person has claimed copyright for this amount of your.
When you say person, you mean one of 5 corporations.
as an outlet.
Let's be clear.
As an outlet. But on that personal level, you can find out exactly what clip it was, exactly what they're claiming, how many seconds they're claiming, what their resolution process is, whether it's you give them the money or you fight it or whatever. Don't fight them because then they'll just keep the copyright flag on you and then you'll get done for it. Yep. You literally only need to get 3 copyright flags and then they have to remove your thing from the platform. DMCA is stacked against you. Do not believe for a second that DMCA is your friend. The record industry, you want to talk about being a hitman assassin, start with the Record Industry Association of America, work down.
Yeah,
you'll have very, very few people would be upset if the RIA stopped existing tomorrow.
People are forgetting. Remember a few years ago, people in America were getting like $20,000 bills from the record labels for something that somebody with the same IP downloaded.
Correct.
It's just ridiculous.
So it's always counter-consumer. So Twitch didn't have the things in place to actually go through your clips and remove the infringing ones and all that. So they didn't have the mechanisms in place to actually fix the problem. And that's on Twitch, right? Because they know it had to be a problem. But that was the thing when they got bought by Amazon, right? So add on top of it that Twitch started increasing their ad density during COVID. So if you have, they found a way around ad blocker. They've increased their ad density. If you run ad blocker, you can max out a stream at 480p. You cannot go higher. There's all these measures that they've put in place, right? For the majority of users that are counting. And now this, of all the things that you can blame on Twitch at the moment, this one isn't their fault. The RIA are scumbags, scumbags of the highest order.
Yeah.
Apparently there was if you read the email that Twitch sent out, there was contract negotiations with them to try and find a solution, but none of them were cost effective or feasible for any of their partners. Yeah. So basically what it would have been was, well, Twitch is already getting 50% of your sub income, and then RIAA would have wanted 30% of your existing income, like whatever's left. So you're getting 20% of the money you're making on Twitch. So even Twitch isn't that dumb to sign up on that deal, right? And the RIAA doesn't want to make it easy for them. They want the Facebook style money. They want it to be you just like they want as much money as they can of it. So even selling this, like, to me, if they said, here's a Spotify license, if you're a streamer, you can, so how Monster Cat does it. So Monster Cat is a company that creates not copyright free songs, but songs that you can buy an exclusive license to buy, right? So every month you pay I think it's $10 or whatever. You pay your $10, they whitelist your IP, whitelist your channel, and if you play their songs, you're covered, right? So that's kind of how that. So you play their songs, you're covered for those songs on your channel as long as your membership is current. You can download those songs, all that kind of stuff, and once your thing runs out, and you can buy access at certain points, right? So to me, having an industry option of that, of like, cool, pay us $100 a month, and you can have like access.
You mean as a streamer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, have access to that. Think of how many thousand streamers would pay $100.
I only pay $17 a month for Spotify family memberships. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so let's say you're trying to make a go of it on Twitch. $100 ain't that much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a commercial license. You limit it to Twitch or whatever,
and then you just say you can what sort of music would you play with that?
Well, that would give you access to anything. Then, do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, because it would be cool to play music. Well,
yeah, of course. Because to me, like the thing that Twitch does different to TV broadcasting is that it's live and it's interactive. So if anything, it's less of a TV show and more of a talkback radio station. Do you know what I mean? Like by far. And so to not have music and not have the ability to pad those hours out, and obviously like the fact that even games are getting flagged for it now.
Well, I was going to ask. What happens if there is a copyrighted music inside the game?
Cyberpunk, they're worried about for the theme song because the theme song is thing. There was someone was playing another game. Oh, I can't remember, but someone was playing another game recently that happened to have what's what I'm thinking of?
Like a licensed real song in the game.
A licensed song for its title, like its opening theme, that got someone flagged, right? So the rest of the game was fine, but they got flagged for the title. Right?
Well, that's unfair.
Yeah. So if you're caught playing live music on your thing, it used to be that your VODs were muted for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? So which was fine. You just like record it offline if you wanted to keep your moments separate, right? But I mean, this was the thing. So all of it is set up to make it harder for Twitch creators, because then the pressure goes to Twitch, and then Twitch goes, fine, we'll pay you fuckers $1 billion a year. Just fucking leave us alone. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that eventually the cracks come up enough that they can just go, fine, like, just, here, take it, go away. And that's what they're trying to do. So it is all political pressure from the thing. We had the chance to renegotiate the DMCA. We didn't. That would have been part of the TPP as well. So, like, the TPP has saved us a little bit on that. So we'll see how we go now that Biden's
back on their whole... TPP has a whole heap of suspended clauses.
Yeah.
That was suspended when the US pulled out, when Trump pulled it out.
Yeah.
And so those suspended clauses re-enable when the US gets back in, which is the Democrat official position.
Yeah, exactly, Simon. That's the kind of game they talk about. That, GTA, any of those that have real-world licensed music, Saints Row, anything that has any of that, forget it.
Are you surprised? Because I'm a little bit surprised these tech companies can still be shaken down by the music industry.
Because it's the way laws go. You can get, if you have any of these other tech companies go them, there's usually a gentleman's agreement. I've seen so many streamers play YouTube videos on Twitch, and there's never a problem at all.
Yeah.
Just because,
there's been allegations that some streamers they play favourites. Yeah, they're able to get away.
I mean, that's the old Hassan line. Anyway, I won't go into names on there.
Simon asked, and then I think he removed it, about TikTok. I was going to say that may explain why TikTok is under pressure, because being a Chinese operation,
and they definitely don't care.
We pretend it's not, but it's a Chinese operation. They don't give a shit. But maybe that's why there was so much. What would you call it? They had to sell to an American company. At one point, it was going to be Microsoft, who would then join that little cozy gentleman's agreement you were talking about, where they all just pass money between each other.
And so, okay, I'll explain that one quickly, Simon. So if we had
Need for Speed Underground 2, you're talking about?
No. Haven't they sold their music to the game? So If we had Aussie,
Yes.
this would be perfect. APRA. So APRA is the Australian, Performing and Recording Artists Association of Australia, right?
Yeah.
So APRA is fucked because basically APRA will pay you the royalties that radio stations or whatever owe you, right? Now radio stations and a lot of, even community radio and stuff like that can apply for a license. They basically pay based on how much music they use. There's usually a set fee. And this is why there was always an option to go down that road, but they've decided that they didn't want to. So for whatever
Yeah, but
reason.
they go through what the radio plays, and then then the APRA makes sure the artist gets a bit of money.
Gets and same as Spotify. Obviously, those Spotify plays only get you like 0.00000.
Do you know a funny story about APRA?
What?
Well, okay. Back in the old days, when I was young, right,
Yeah.
you used to ring up the top 8 at Hot 888, right? I don't know if they still do it in the radio show.
Hot 888, Jesus,
people used to ring up and vote for their favourite song, and they did the Hot 8, and everyone used to do it. They go, "Oh, this song's really hot at the moment." Let's see. Anyway, a friend of mine for the while worked at Triple M,
right?
And she would go through, and she told me, and she would go through the Hot 888s and work out all the APRA stuff. Several weeks in advance.
Yeah, right.
Several weeks in advance.
She'd know, she'd know, yeah.
So they had their top 888 planned well in advance so they could make sure everyone was paid. And then all the idiots like me, that night would go, "Oh, I wonder what the top 888 is." People would ring up and vote. And it was all a scam.
And so for a long time they've had that.
This is why I have trust issues.
Even talkback radio, this is why. Even talkback radio has always been a canned thing. Like 9 times out of 10, half the people are calling up from Liberal Party offices. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, I knew a guy that actually did the marketing stuff for Philip Morris, right? And he was actually telling me that when he started out, they would have all the guys in the office,
all the interns,
in the advertising company, and they would go office to office, and the guy in the next office hang up, and then he'd pick up his phone and go, "I agree with the last guy, whoever the hell he was. Yeah, no, this government's a disgrace." And he said that's what they used to do with the talkback. But the same thing happens now on Twitter. Twitter's 70% bots doing the same thing. And sock puppet accounts everywhere. You can tell when you go on Facebook. And it's not hard. I've got like 60-something accounts on Facebook, right? Yeah. So I don't use them, but I've set them up over the years. I used to use them for a bit of trolling.
Giggles,
but there's stuff like zombies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But there are, you can tell when you argue with somebody, and it's like, I agree with the last guy. It's like clearly not real. It's grassroots fake. AstroTurf.
AstroTurf.
That's the word I'm looking for.
So basically, APRA makes sure all that gets paid out, right? The APRA licensing for anything that so let's say you own a cafe, Simon, and you buy all these CDs. You've got your favourite Paul Kelly CD, and you want to play it in the background of your little calf. And so you play it in the background of your calf. You haven't got a broadcast license. That's a public broadcast.
Yeah.
You haven't got a broadcast license. You're done. Right? If you take, that's why Facebook used to flag you if you took a video and there was music playing in the background, they flag you because that's you've recorded a public performance, therefore you owe them a licensing fee. So they've licensed it for home use on these platforms for this particular thing, but the second that you start live streaming that game, it's no longer a private performance. It's no longer a private ownership. Therefore, you're a banned thing. And that's why the laws need to change, because they just have not caught up with the times. And you don't, they sold the music to the game, sure, but that's why also you see Crazy Taxi without the Offspring. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, I've still got the copy.
Even they relicensed that though. Sega was smart enough to go rig it.
I've got the Dreamcast version though. I think still has.
Well, the iPhone version's the other one. Like, there's the shitty iPhone game, and then there's the remake of Crazy Taxi. The remake has the proper music on there.
I think the iPhone version was the first review I did for New Game Plus.
Yeah,
over Funny Feeling.
Yeah.
But so anyway,
moral story is Twitch is between a rock and a hard place. They have to act within the DMCA rules, or they're going to come after Amazon. And obviously, Big Daddy Bezos won't be pushed around, but it's easier for Twitch to cop the flack and to localise that to Twitch than it is to localise that to anyone else. Because they all want him to come to the party and pay for, to let them play on other platforms. And he's not interested
And this is why all the tech companies are based out of one spot in the world.
Exactly. So moral of the story is they're all scumbags, RIAA scumbags. This is Australia. Nobody ever really stopped pirating here. They did for a little bit because Netflix was good, and now Yeah, everyone again. It reminds me of the Netflix thing. Why doesn't Netflix have this anymore? It's like because the rights holder has not extended the rights. Do you think Netflix doesn't want your money? Do you think Netflix is saying, you know, we'd like less range and less customers? That's what we want.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Although, despite what someone we both know used to always carry on about how Netflix doesn't produce real content and Australian TV stations are better because they do, Netflix has switched over to producing some really good original content.
Yeah.
It took them a while. Them and Amazon both actually produce a lot of really good originals.
Now, there's a lot of crap that Netflix produces.
Oh, it's still crap, but there's still good stuff.
Netflix has the advantage of not having to worry about selling ads, so they don't have to make it as broad stroke as possible. So they make it as niche as possible. So you get like a show that's designed for like, you know, women over a certain age in Mexico who have a Netflix account, and they'll make that show because
it's just bandwidth. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where and so that's why there's a lot of these like wellness shows and all these like that's what's dangerous. Like they gave Gwyneth Paltrow a platform because there's enough of these fucking Looney Tunes people who buy her bullshit. And Pete Evans, der Fuhrer Pete Evans, you know, like they give these people platforms as a result of that. So
he writes a lot of books. A friend of mine's got all these books.
Yeah,
I mean, Mein Kampf, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
they're all paleo books. Diets.
How you can live on 1,488 calories a day. Sorry, like.
Does that mean something? Also the I've lost my train of thought because you distracted me with the last comment.
Anyway, moral story is that Netflix does have that advantage. They've definitely increased their quality. For a while, the best ones they had were Orange is the New Black.
They gave the Obamas like $10 million for a special ed. So they're able to do. I wouldn't. Maybe that's on niche, but they're able to be
more targeted.
There's like commercial TV. They do stuff that commercial TV never do. But then commercial TV, at least in Australia, is obsessed with dating shows and shit.
Yeah, because they're cheap and easy to make. I mean, we've said it for ages. Like, you know, like we'd happily take a midnight slot on a Channel 7 or something like that because it'd offer something different. I guarantee we'd still bring viewers over, and you would be amazed at how low the figures are on Seven Mate and Seven Honey or whatever.
How much are we allowed to say about what we know, how that works?
You can say it if you'd like.
That basically you have to make a certain amount of money for the station.
Correct.
And the station will lend you the money up front, and the money you make comes a bit like when you make an album with a record company. So they'll lend you, like, say, let's pick a number, $270,000.
Yeah, that's a specific number, Dermie.
Just added straight out of my backside. Yeah. So they say they'll lend you that, and then you have to then go out and bring in the advertising to basically pay that back. And then they'll give you shit equipment, hypothetically, and like a corner of somewhere, and not even support you anyway.
Yeah.
So you can't just turn up to a TV station, and this is why shows like The Block and that do well, because they bring in Coles and Bunnings and all that. I know
MasterChef,
MasterChef's Coles, right? And they're clearly just marketing vehicles for those large companies, whereas a video game show wouldn't succeed unless you could bring in like Electronic Arts.
And the thing is, most video game companies in this country they'll pay you in contra. You'll get gear, or they'll pay you in all this kind of stuff, and you got to make the money elsewhere.
Most of the video game industry in this country doesn't even know what money is.
Yeah, and so from our point of view, like it's always been that. But you're trying to get money out of a thing that's not actually practically activating an event like that. That's how I make most of my money. Is basically doing launch events and all that kind of stuff. That's what we do when we do launch events. Yeah. You know, we'll advertise them through our pages, or we'll be in conjunction with, say, Madman or whoever. But to do it on a TV basis, you have to start worrying about your advertising budgets and stuff.
The last thing I'm going to do is start a TV show up, run for 6 months, and owe the TV station money when you get cancelled.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That'd suck balls.
Yeah, maybe you should have stayed in your little closed garden.
Just purely little colours on it.
Purely, allegedly.
Yeah, just anyway, there you go. I've run out of news, and anybody who's still watching on Facebook, why are you watching? You should be watching the show live on Channel 31 right
which is just about to end in 3 minutes.
Cringy's going to crack the shits with us for 1 hour. We're supposed to be on Sunday nights, but somebody had a little bit of... He's allowed out now, so he hit the grog.
But the problem is I haven't been sleeping normal hours anyway, so like I woke up today at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
You woke up when I turned up here before the...
Well, that too. I had like a 15 minute
You were snoring, anyway. But so wait till you're old. Do it now, though. Do it now, because when you're my age...
I've always been good for a nap. Like,
you have 2 drinks and you're off to sleep, and then wake up with heartburn.
No, I had like...
You have to have some Gaviscon. You have your beer and your Gaviscon.
So I actually do. So funnily enough, I do have Gaviscon now, but that's for a different reason. Like
how the hell are you taking that?
Well, no, no, but more,
Doesn't help all.
It's got to go this way, I mean, technically, it doesn't matter. I won't go into the reasons, but technically it would because it's still the same mechanisms. But I've had GERD for ages, so that's not a new thing. But I thought it's my first night drinking out for a while. It'll be a while, and I'm just like, I still put 12 drinks down.
Yeah, sorry, Jack, we ran over your shit. But go listen to. Well, we got anything else to?
No, I think that's it. So NewGamePlus.tv. If you're watching.
I haven't given away a T-shirt tonight. Simon, have you got?
He got one last time.
He got one last time. Yeah. Damn, it's on its way. By the way, check your mail. I was going to give him one because he was doing all the comments tonight. You don't get two. Yeah. Well, actually, he did. But anyway, so check your mail. But nobody gets a T-shirt tonight because only Simon was our. It was playing up weird on the thing, so maybe not come up in people's feeds.
The other one as well is twitch.tv/Couch Warriors for the last Tekken battle before the big December event, which decides who gets to attend the December event if you do like watching competitive Tekken.
Is it all the same points and everything? Do I have to do new points?
I think actually the standings are going to stay the same. I do actually have to get you to check it and drop. I think you double points.
I forgot to set one to online.
Yeah,
because there's several settings. There's online, offline. There's normal points. Yeah,
I figured it was.
And I actually had.
I said it to Dan. I said I'm sure it's just literally a toggle option.
It's actually already fixed.
Yeah, cool.
I did see it because I saw there was some new events added, so I put them in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, that's done. So anybody that thought they got like 40 points.
Sorry,
guys.
20 points an event. Whoa.
I know. If it's online and double, it's 10, 9, 8 downwards. And if it's offline double, you get 20 points and so on. Sorry to the guys that thought they had 20 points for a day. So it's already fixed. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
Otherwise, NewGamePlus.tv, all the socials at NewGamePlus.tv.
Yep.
Show
podcast. Cringy puts out the normal shows and podcasts. So check that out because if you're watching this on Facebook and missed that, sorry, Cringy. That's it.
Yeah,
nothing else.
All right, let's wrap it up. See you later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.